Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell. I'm Skid Gore. I have the unfortunate news to report that my partner, Ghoul, has passed. Rest in peace, my brother. But I think he would want me to carry on the show. And now that I'm doing the show, I'm pretty sure our ratings are going to go through the fucking roof. You know? Because I'm captain of the ship now. Sorry, Ghoul. But I'll try to make you proud, and I'll try to carry the show on. So let's have some fun, and let's just.
Hey Fiends, welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell. Another episode, another day, another dollar. I am Ghoul. I am Ghoul, and this is, of course,
Skid Gore. What's going on, guys?
We have probably one of the most exciting segments. We're talking the living dead zombies. Everybody's favorite. We all know, of course, Walking Dead. You know, we're going to talk about some of the underground ones. We'll give you a taste of, some of our favorites, and we'll move on to talking about kind of how we did the horror comedies, kind of go randomly back and forth through them, and kind of just, spew a little bit about them and say something good, bad, whatever.
Some of our favorite ones and ones we want to turn you guys on to, maybe ones that kind of fell between the cracks, that are not too mainstream or more underground films. Hopefully we can show you some of those.
So, out of that, we'll be back. Stay tuned, guys.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6.
Hey, what's going on, horror fans? Our favorite segment, once again, is called Recent Watches, and if you watched this far, you know the drill. It could be an old movie, a new movie, it doesn't matter. As long as you get some kind of sick pleasure out of it, man. So let's do it up.
Cheers.
This time, I have the great classic Peeping Tom, directed by Michael Powell, 1960. For the time, this movie was very, very controversial. It came around at the same time as Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, which we all know is
a legendary film.
An amazing what horror would become after that, because before it was more like gothic castles and
Hammer films.
Yeah, absolutely. The Psycho brought it. Basically, the boy next door could be the killer mentality, you know? And nobody's safe, and you're not safe in your own shower.
The home invasion type
thing. You're not even safe in your own shower, scrub-a-dub-dub. But Peeping Tom, man, is a whole different type of animal, man. Like I said, it came out around the same time as Psycho, but what this film did was revolutionize the snuff film style, where films like Scrapbook and the AU trilogy would, Man Bites Dog, Henry Portrait of Serial Killer, movies like that, took a lot from this film. The way it was filmed, Michael Powell, just total insanity, the character of Mark, his father abuses him, just mentally, just at the most obscene times. He videotapes him. He actually studies human behavior. The reactions, the negative reactions. He's doing some morbid shit. He puts this lizard in a bed just to see Mark's reaction.
Yeah.
And then he films his
awesome.
Wife's funeral, Mark's mom's. Yeah. So just to get a reaction, and then Mark just becomes obsessed with this camera that his dad gives him. And he eventually just becomes a Peeping Tom. Basically he just brings it everywhere. He meets this really hot girl, in the same apartment complex that he rents. And, they develop a bond and a friendship, and then her mother is not quite sure of him. She can tell that he doesn't have all his marbles, you know what I'm saying? Murders are happening all over, and no one's ever caught. But it eventually catches up to Mark in the end, because he cannot control his murderous tendencies, and it's a great film, man. I mean, it's really really well shot. Michael Powell's peeping Tom, man. Check it out. Criterion,
Right
man.
on. And they put out some good releases.
Absolutely.
Alright. What I got is a doozy from 1974, The Centerfold Girls. Kind of along the same lines-ish of that stalker type film. This one centers around this men's magazine that has these centerfold models in it, and there's this guy who basically thinks that these women are soiling themselves the earth and all that. So what he does is he takes them one by one and he stalks them, and it's kind of, you don't understand it at first, but it's three separate stories that are really just one. They're, each story is a different girl, and each time it gets harder and harder and harder for him to actually catch these girls and kill them. Doesn't seem as easy for him. It's definitely a grindhouse film. Came out the same, Texas Chainsaw type thing. And what I really liked about this film is, how you get those films that have like homages to like classic films, like Monster Squad, like you had the posters on the wall, like you see all that kind of stuff, and it's like the directors themselves know, they give homage to it. Well, this one was no exception, not necessarily to a movie, but to, of course, what was going on at the time in Charlie Manson. There is a scene in here which is it is kind of the unsettling scene. Basically what it comes out to be, in my opinion, is that the Slippies were they basically invaded this model's house.
Nice.
That she was staying at, and it's absolutely totally Charlie Manson if you watch it. And the only reason if you'd never, if you're just kind of thinking it's a home invasion type thing, the reason you actually see is she escapes before getting raped by the guy and the two girls, and she runs down to this like campsite type thing, and like she goes inside this building, and the guy, these three followers stop, and he says, "Man, we better get back to the ranch." And as soon as he said that, you're kind of like, that's a Charlie Manson thing. And obviously a sign of the times that, being in 74, this was shortly after all that happened, so, it was kind of a cool homage in that respect. But, the film is, it's boob-filled. I mean, there's boobs everywhere.
That's always a plus, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's some good titties.
If you like boobs and whatever, you could be disappointed in that
boobs
one.
and blood, alright. Sign me up.
It is just kind of creepy. I mean, the killer himself, he wears like a leisure suit, and he wears these like black and white tap shoes.
Doesn't wear aviators like the...
No, it's not like Spine, don't worry.
Scissors.
But yeah, I mean, it is a well shot film, really creepy how he is this psychotic killer, and he sends them flowers and all this weird stuff to try to get, like, and they know he's a creeper. Like, you kind of get set in the middle of each story, like, he's called them before and got a hold of them, and they always, every time he calls them and says, he basically tells you, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you." He tells them. He doesn't, beat around the bush or whatever.
You don't fuck around, huh?
No, and he comes around with a straight edge razor blade and just takes them all out, and then eventually, the one woman at the end gets her revenge on him. So it's definitely in the crack type film. You don't see too many people talking about it. Dark Sky Films put this one out. They usually put out some good releases. So.
Excellent releases.
So definitely check out Jack Pacer's The Centerfold Girls if you really kind of like that exploitive nurse killing films. So We'll be back, guys. We're going to start our homage to zombies.
Stay tuned.
Perfect.
No.
Meddling.
No. Oh.
Hey guys, we're going to begin it here. Zombies. Not vampires, not werewolves, not aliens.
Good old fashioned rotten dead, man.
Everybody's fan favorite. We're going to start this off by going through 3 of our personal favorite films in the zombie genre. We'll do talk about them a little bit. A lot of you are probably aware of what we talk about in some of these films, but for the ones who don't, this is for you guys. So we'll get it started with the great 1974 Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. I watched this again today. Man, it's just
Amazing movie.
it's so good. And I remember, basically it takes place on this English countryside where this chick runs over this guy's George's bike, Edna. And she runs over George's bike or backs into it. And,
He's just not too happy about it.
yeah, and he's like, well, at least
Come
you
on,
can
love. Do you want to argue now?
And she's trying to find the Madison house, which, they end up stopping at this thing because she takes him in this whole way and gets lost, and he's still all pissed off. So he ends up walking up towards this house, and he ends up finding out that the agricultural company is trying this new pesticide, basically, that's supposed to eliminate all pest, bugs, you name it, for crops, and they use radioactivity.
Big mistake.
If we learned anything in zombie films,
Big mistake.
radioactivity is not a good thing. But when she's kind of sitting in the car, you get introduced to the zombies. The guy who drowned himself in this river a week earlier, and he shows up, and that's the thing. He doesn't look like your typical zombie. It's he just looks like
he's all wet and
like a wet bag of noodles. Yeah, those eyes were cool.
Yeah, the red eyes.
I remember this close-up shot of him. So that was kind of like the first introduction. But when they come back down the hill, she's freaking out, whatever, and the zombie isn't there, and eventually there's a death of her sister's husband. Gets killed down by this, doing this photo shoot and things like that. Well, this dumbass detective, which I wanted to kill myself in this movie,
Arthur Kennedy, the
Yeah.
great Arthur Kennedy.
shows up, and basically George is thrown into being the only suspect. So this detective is gung-ho saying, you guys killed him, and all these...
You're all the same, a lot of you, with your faggot clothes and your sex, drugs, every sort of filth. And you hate the police, don't you? Oh, I love
And
that. Arthur Kennedy rules.
so basically it kind of goes on this whole spiel about, all these murders start happening and things like that, and, George is eventually blamed. Well, the ending, I think, is kind of the cool part. It brings together, the whole hospital scene at the Manchester morgue, and it brings the whole scene. Like, I always like the receptionist lady that gets ripping her tits out, and I mean,
the director
awesome.
chose her for her tits too, because they're like small titties.
Yeah.
And he needed a small titty chick
for that piece that they put on there. Yeah, and
nice.
basically, George he's getting chased by the detective and all this, and he makes it to the morgue, and his Edna is basically locked up in an insane asylum, tied down and things like that. And he ends up trying to go in to save her and things like that, and all the zombies are there. And I always thought the coolest part was when the guy with the axe was gonna hit the zombie and totally missed him, and the zombie just takes it, and is like whack right to the corner of his head. It's just
and you get that blood spray.
It's so cool. It's just
it's
classic stuff. And Edna ends up actually dying because she was a zombie. But I'm not gonna give the ending away if you haven't seen it. But George ends up getting shot by detective, hero of the day, and you'll see at the end, what happens. So, but definitely, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. I mean, very kind of not a forgotten film, but one that people don't necessarily think about checking out. But if you guys want to see something that's got good gore, it's got a good story, terrible overdubbing,
creepy atmosphere too. When they're in the funeral home.
Oh, I know.
And the dead are pounding on the door and stuff.
Oh yeah, it has really
that old woman that rises from the coffin.
Oh, she's so ugly, man.
Sticks out, yeah.
But definitely check it out, man.
Awesome movie.
74 was a good year, apparently.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, what do you got?
I have the great Peter Cushing in Shockwaves, 1976. I absolutely love this film. I'm a huge Peter Cushing fan. I know Ghoul is too. I really haven't met anyone that doesn't like his work. Whether it's Van Helsing and Dracula, or the
Sherlock
Baron,
Holmes, or
the Baron Frankenstein. He plays so many different types of roles.
Oh, he was the actor's actor.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And he was always prepared. And Shockwaves, film I'm talking about, really solidified him as so diverse. I mean, he's basically playing this Nazi, on this island that experimented on these, what are they called? The Totem Call or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's special Nazi experiment with these superhuman. They're not dead, not alive, somewhere in between. Pretty much.
You don't really know.
Yeah, and they just, oh man, they just wreak havoc. They just totally wreak havoc on this. I don't want to say they were they were vacationers. They weren't trying to land on the island, but their boat
kind of happened. Yeah.
The captain, played by the great John Carradine, he dies. Then they go to this island. Because, their ship's in peril. So, they have to go to the island, and they eventually meet up with Peter Cushing, who's not very proud to have them in his home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not very nice to them. Basically, the story gets out about they're terrorized by these, I guess you call them zombies, but they're more like mutant, Nazi fucking
dead
I don't
things.
know experiment.
It's hard to. It's really hard to.
This is a movie where you can't really categorize it within the zombie genre. It falls in the zombie genre, but there's a lot more going on than just your typical gut muncher. There's even no gut munching. They just destroy with their hands, strangle, just totally brutalize these people.
Yeah.
In every sort of way, and they're eventually caught. They're stuck in this cooler. The guy's freaking out because he gets claustrophobia. Then eventually he brings all these zombies down on the people.
Yeah, it's usually how it works.
It's a narrow escape, man. It's a narrow escape, but this is a great, great film. I could talk for hours about this film, but I won't. Check it out, guys. Shockwaves.
It even says it's scary. All right.
What you got, Ghoul?
We're moving on to 1980. The end of a decade of zombies, Zombie Lake. Euroshock collection.
Gene Roland,
of course.
Gene Roland.
Nazi zombies. Basically.
Again!
Yeah.
That wasn't planned.
Basically, it was a plane crash, and these zombies these men drowned in this lake. And Well, they just come back and they start ripping throats out of people. Not an overly gory film, but there is. It's kind of a touching tale of sorts. One of the guys who died. It's his. I gotta remember if it's his family, and it's either his daughter or his niece. I can't remember offhand. But basically, they kind of build this connection because when he sees her, yeah, he's dead, but he knows who she is, and he can't.
Still kind of got some compassion left in him.
Like she hands him like this necklace and stuff like that, and he wears it, and it's really kind of a touching thing, even though he goes out and kills anyways. Opening scene is the best. You know, woman down by the lake disrobes right away, full frontal nudity. And then she dies.
Bummer, man.
Yeah. Plenty of boobs in this one, too.
Gene Rowland, go figure.
Yeah.
That guy was the king of sleaze. Him and Jesse
But,
Franco.
you know, it is, again, it's a French film, it's dubbed, but it's actually pretty well done. But, yeah, I mean, it's... I just love this movie. I saw it the first time on Netflix, and I was like, I have to have that, because it's... I don't know how to explain it. It's just... It gets gorier and better as the time goes on. The beginning of it is kind of dry. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, bunch of Nazi idiots running around that are all green and ugly looking. But it gets better. The story gets better. The gore gets better.
The atmosphere when they rise from the water.
Oh, yeah. And there's the scene when they actually have these underwater shots where these teenagers go down swimming in the lake, and you see, like, the zombies like actually coming up from the bottom, and
Yeah.
it's actually kind of a Jaws moment. It's really kind of cool. But zombies, and you know, of course, you see all the naked women inside there, because I think that whole bus is actually all women. There's like 7 or 8 of them. So you definitely get your fix if you like that kind of shit. But definitely check out 1980 Zombie Lake for a really good time. J.A. Laser, man.
I heard that's actually one of Rob Zombie's favorite movies. They did
Oh,
an
wow.
interview with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
that's pretty cool. Dude.
It's a pretty damn good movie. I enjoy it.
Right on, man.
Next.
I have The Great Messiah of Evil.
Right on.
When the moon turns blood red, a mysterious stranger comes back. All hell shall break loose, pretty much.
Good way to put it.
Man, this movie, talk about falling through the cracks, you know?
Yeah. I actually had that one on a double feature with Prime.
Yeah, it's in
That's the
like
only way
those
I have
50
it.
bargain bin movies
Yeah.
and stuff. It's Code Red, yeah. Pretty hard to find, but if you can track it down, it's well worth your while. A different take on zombies. It's not it's kind of like Shockwaves, where you can't classify it directly as a zombie movie. These people are normal people, except when the moon turns blood red, they develop an unhealthy craving for human flesh.
Very
just as
high
a
in fat
zombie would.
cholesterol.
Yeah, it's just a zombie would. They're eating flesh. They're just terrorizing this this poor little girl in this movie theater. And it's the greatest scene, man. It's one of my personal favorite scenes. Like, I love how it was shot, because she's in the theater, and you only see like 2 zombies come in, and she's just like, okay, fine. Then the camera pans, it shows the movie, and it shows her, and then you see there's like 5 zombies. Then it shows the movie, then it pans, and then there's like fucking the whole theater is like surrounded by zombies.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just really, really well done.
Yeah.
William Hookey. I'm sorry, I can't say this guy's last name, but this cat made an awesome movie. Excellent movie. This painter befriends this woman whose father, who pretty much contracted the disease, the zombie type of disease where he craved human flesh and self-destruction and stuff like that. And he's got this gang the little girl that I mentioned before in
Yeah.
the theater, and then there's this other really hot brunette.
Oh yeah.
That's with her with them.
There's always a hot girl in all
Yeah.
these movies.
And basically there's kind of like a love triangle between the new girl and the girl that's with this guy. So you kind of get that. There's a really good story to this film. I mean, it's not just balls out zombies. It's a really
Yeah.
good story. It's a tragic story in a way too. How it all ends. I mean, she basically went through total hell to try to overcome this.
Just kidding.
Live with it, cool. It's my zombie moment right there. But yeah, man, check out the side view if you can find it. Code Red, baby.
That or like you said, check out the 50 packs when
Yeah,
you see it at
man.
Walmart.
Absolutely.
Um,
Well worth your while.
definitely.
What you got, cool? Oh shit!
Oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Fulci lives, man. City of the Living
Made me
Dead.
sit up for this one. Fuck me.
Oh, what can't be said about a gateway of hell opening up and causing havoc on the world? Probably got some of the most infamous scenes that in horror when you talk about from the intestines to the bleeding eyes. I mean, it's just
The drill and John Morgan
yeah,
said
just-
drill in his. Yeah.
oh yeah, gets all pissed off because he's sleeping in the car.
Yep.
Which I thought the first time I saw it was so weird. It's like, well, the call as a kid, man, wanted to sleep.
What's up with that inflatable doll he has? So
I don't know.
I understood that.
But of course, Christopher George, who's in this one, is
Oh yeah,
my favorite part of my favorite movie of all time, Pieces.
absolutely.
And of course, what's her name from The Beyond?
Katrina McCoy.
McCoy,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I can't say her last
Katarina
name.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Amazing actor. She's in The Beyond. And
yeah. So definitely,
Fulci.
Fulci, had a good base for characters.
Absolutely.
But this is always gonna be remembered for the priest. Like it just stares at you, and next thing you know, it's like you're just possessed, and then you start bleeding, and then all just this
Insanity. Your guts
man.
just fly out of your mouth.
I mean, who thinks of that? Fulci thinks of
Fulci.
that. And, for being
He had his own style,
1980
man.
once again, the dead shall rise and walk the earth. It's just...
That is an awesome,
That
awesome
catches
fucking
you.
cover. I mean, that cover rules.
I mean,
cover
that
is
catches you, of course, on the back of this when you got the bleeding eyes and... but definitely,
Well,
Blue
great
Underground
moment
put that out.
Extreme horror cinema, absolutely.
One that, we know a lot about it. You guys probably have heard about it, but for some reason, it's just when you say it to somebody, they kind of go, they don't know it by the title. When you start saying, oh yeah, when she coughs up her intestines and insides, you go, oh yeah, I've seen that. So, not necessarily don't know the movie, but definitely one of the greats in
Wasn't
zombie
that
history.
whole with Zombie and the City of the Living Dead and the Beyond? I mean,
Yeah,
it really is a great film.
it's a trifecta of just, guts, gore, brain ripping, gut spewing, you name it.
All the good
red
red
stuff,
shit,
so-
man. We love it.
Definitely 1980.
One of
City of
Chaz
the Living
Ballin's, rest in peace, one of Chaz Ballin's favorite movies.
Dead. And for
Ever
good
in
reason.
an interview, yeah.
One of my favorites. So
Absolutely.
definitely 1980, City of the Living Dead, Lucio Fulci.
Well, she lives, baby.
Go forever. All right, what do you got? Last one. And then we save the best, second best for last.
I don't know about that, but I love it.
Well,
Little burial ground for y'all.
right on.
Yeah, I love this movie. I mean, it's the Italian zombie craze of the 80s.
It's the best.
Oh, man.
Nothing beats
There's
it.
some great films. I mean, cheesy as hell, but dude,
It's still
just,
creepy though. I mean, they still scared you.
And you were satisfied after seeing the film.
Oh yeah.
And this is one of them. Definitely did it for me. Burial Ground. I saw this at a very young age. It was.
Your parents were nice.
It wasn't this cover. It was a different cover.
Yeah,
It was
I know
a
which cover
VHS
you-
cover. Zombie coming out of the ground or whatever.
Yep.
And I was really enticing, to the little grasshopper like me at the time. I was just kind of getting into the brutal shit, against everyone's wishes.
Yeah.
But
Gotta learn somewhere.
yeah, man. I saw it because my sister's old boyfriend rented it, that and Demons 2 or something, So I got to finally see it. And yeah, I'll never forget the tit biting scene kind of sticks out. I mean,
Yeah.
every fan of this film knows
Yeah.
Peter Bark, man. He's got his own fan club, dude.
Yeah.
Peter Bark, man. Love you. Is he alive yet?
I think so.
I don't even know if he's alive yet.
Sure.
Yeah, but
He's always
He's a
alive.
midget. He wears the worst toupee. He tries to be this. Well, how old is he? Like 12 years, 16
Yeah,
years old.
he's
or
pretty
something?
young.
Yeah, it doesn't say, but yeah, he's a really young. He's supposed to be playing like this really young kid, and he's this man with this really bad fucking toupee, man. Oh, it's hilarious.
It worked.
But yeah,
Well,
it worked, man.
kind
And
of.
the zombies in this movie just look amazing, man. Some of the best shit outside of Fulci. I mean, these zombies rotting, maggots, you know,
Worms, you name it.
yeah, absolutely.
Creepy crawlies, man, all over.
Yeah, I love how they rise from the grave and like grab people by the head and just rip shit.
That's awesome.
Amazing film. There's this one scene where this zombie slits this chick's throat with a shard of glass,
Yeah.
and her head just like falls on the floor. Oh man, I almost want to. I'm gonna probably watch this tonight just because of that, dude.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys. Burial Ground. Those are some of our favorite zombie movies. There are many, and we'll get to those.
We're going to show them to you right after this. But first, I need a beer. So, cheers, guys.
Good
We'll
job.
be back.
Let's kill something.
Yep.
Fucking freedom and fucking me. You can have the fucking bitches. Happy Valentine's Day, you fucking sluts. Kill him! Fucking kill him! Kill him! Hallelujah.
Alright, guys, welcome back. Here we go. This is going to be a marathon of zombie films.
I would say.
There is a plethora of them. We're not going to really talk about them, maybe say a few words about them. For the most part, we're just going to kind of go through, like I said, like we did the dark comedies. Just kind of
throw
back
shit
and
at
forth.
you.
And you know what? If you got to pause it, write some notes.
These
down,
are in no
whatever.
particular order whatsoever
Yeah,
either.
no.
I mean, you could have something from the 40s or some shit today, you know.
So we're just going to
Whatever.
throw them at you. You know, we didn't throw everything in here because there are some really bad ones, and they hurt to watch. So we're not going to put you through the same pain and agony that me and Skidmore had to go through.
Yeah.
So on that note, here we go. Get your pen and paper ready. Let's start it. We're going to start with Dead Walkers, Rise of the Fourth Reich, another Nazi film. About the dead. Nazis were zombies, apparently.
Have the people own the dark. People who own the dark with the great Paul Naschy. Excellent film. About a radiation explosion.
Zombinator! Basically, Steven Seagal and Arnold Schwarzenegger taken into one. Kill zombies. Good film, actually. I enjoyed that one. It was fun.
We have the great Dead Pit. Classic zombie movie.
Oh, yeah.
You guys seen this?
Right on. We got one here. It's a New Age apocalyptic Dead Shadows. Actually, a pretty good film, actually. So definitely check it out. It's a New Age film. It's hard to get that glare.
Yeah. Horror Rises from the Tomb. It's not strictly a zombie movie. There's a lot more going on, but there's an awesome scene with zombies that do the master's bidding, played by the great Paul Naschy. Check that out.
Right on. One here called Dead Season. Another survival movie. Not bad. It's a pretty typical zombie film, I guess.
The great Hammer film, Plague of the Zombies.
One of the few ones they did.
Yeah, cannot say enough about this film. It pretty much was the first movie of its kind to show what a decayed corpse coming out of the ground looks like. And I know a lot of movies latched onto that, obviously George Romero and everything. But this is one of the first ones, guys. Check out Plague of the Zombies. Excellent.
Speaking of Romero, Dawn of the Dead. First in the trilogy series.
You can't
say much, man.
Can't go wrong with that, dude.
Take notes on that one for sure.
The great Bill Heinzman in Flesh Eater.
The original zombie.
Excellent film. Yep, the Cemetery Zombie, Bill Heinzman.
The remake, Night of the Living Dead from 1990. Tom Savini's great film. Tony Todd plays the lead character. Great film, great adaptation to it.
Excellent remake. Uncle Ridge.
Oh, God.
Yeah, father's fucking great. From 1940. God, we're really going back here, huh?
Yeah?
1943, the great Jacques Turner, I Walked with a Zombie. The Val Lewton collection. Excellent film. Awesome atmosphere of the sugarcane fields.
Usually those films always had that.
Yeah,
so
the slave
cool.
zombie. Awesome.
Return of the Living Dead. Shitty cover. Couldn't help it, but it had a cool insert. Just that Walmart copy for $5. I just wanted the insert. Great movie, though. Return of the Living Dead. Part 1 and 2. Oh, yeah.
Forever Evil. No one ever talks about this movie, but it's great. The zombie looks like Eddie of Iron Maiden. Awesome movie.
We're going Japanese. Tokyo Zombie.
I've never even seen that fucking movie, so I have no idea.
It's quite a treat. It's something else.
Is it?
Definitely Tokyo Zombie. If you want something different flavor.
Gene Roland is all over this podcast, I swear, man. We have the great Grapes of Death. I love this film. If there ever was an original zombie film, concept for a zombie film, it was this one. Don't drink the wine, or you will turn into a zombie.
Hey.
Contaminated wine, basically, turn you into a zombie.
Radioactive fruit.
Excellent movie. Excellent movie. Check it out.
Of course, Serpent in the Rainbow, Wes Craven. I know we forgot this.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, we forgot this on the Wes Craven tribute. We were reminded of that. We deeply apologize, but rest assured, we do know about the movie. It's a very good voodoo type zombie film.
One of his
very
best
good.
films ever.
Very good. Again, we're sorry for that. I feel terrible.
We have the awesome video Dead. Zombies coming out of a TV.
Classic.
It is a classic,
That's
man.
awesome.
The washing machine part. The giggling granny zombie. The chainsaw zombie. Oh, man.
Got everything, man.
Great movie.
The Great Night of the Creeps. You ask why this wasn't in the top 3, man. It's a tough choice to break them down, but
Thrill me.
there you go. That's all you need to know.
Todd Atkins, awesome. Yeah, Paul Naschy again in Vengeance of the Zombies. Satanic mumbo jumbo. Awesome movie. Hail Satan.
Brian Paulin's Bone Sickness. Oh, Morbid Visions, man. This shit is just grisly. It's great. It's underground. It's
Hail, Brian Paul.
Fucking A, man.
You're watching. We love you.
there. It is
bro.
for you, man.
One of the most original zombie movies I've ever seen. There's so much going on in this one. Early appearance by Robert Englund. Very young Robert Englund. Dead and Buried. Excellent film, guys.
A classic throwback. 1941 King of the Zombies.
Black comedy, man.
It's got,
Comedic.
it's got the black actors in it, which I thought was kind of a real breakthrough. You had that in these films. It wasn't mainstream. They didn't need to be in it, but fucking A, King of the
It's a
Zombies.
funny movie. I mean,
It's
just watching it for the comedic
Oh
elements.
yeah,
in it.
there's plenty of it.
It's cool.
But hey, it set a milestone in zombie films, so
Absolutely. Dead and Deader.
great film. Again, Nightmare City. There it is. The television network. Massacre.
I love that scene in the hospital where they're all stabbing the shit out of her. That movie looks like zombies smeared oatmeal on their faces.
Yeah, it looks
Pretty
real
much.
kind of silly, but
But it's really
classic.
worth
It's
it.
a
There's
good
this
film.
Umberto Lenzi has... Nobody can scrape out an eyeball quite like Umberto Lenzi.
That's
Whether it's
true.
Cannibal Ferox or Nightmare City, like, he seriously just...
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Either that or...
Speaking of, I love this guy, the great Bob Clark, rest in peace. Amazing film, a good statement about the war. Death Dream, excellent film. Tom Savini, early credit, special effects.
One of the more underrated films, I think, The Dead. Ford Brothers.
Let me say something right here. Sorry, Ghoul. The Dead is one of the best fucking modern zombie movies I've ever
Absolutely.
fucking seen. I love it. They go back to Jacques Turner's I Walk with a Zombie with a little bit of Fulci. The way the zombies look, they're creepy, they're threatening,
Yeah.
they're slow moving, none of this fast moving shit. I'm sorry for the rant, but I love The Dead, guys.
They even made a second one, so check that one out too.
That awesome movie. Feeding the Masses, awesome movie
I always
about
love that cover.
about a news team caught in a zombie apocalypse. Really cool movie, man.
Zombie Women of Satan. Oh yeah. Real big boob zombies, women.
That midget looks like Kirk Weinstein, a crowbar.
Yeah, he does.
That's all I heard.
It's definitely a fun film, man. I
That's
mean,
all I remember.
it's got Pervil the Clown. Can't go wrong, man. It's good. It's good comedy
A
for you.
midget Kirk Weinstein. You gotta love it, man. Evil, which I've never seen, but a friend of mine says I should check it out.
Just pick that up.
I see
didn't
it's
ya?
supposed to be really fucking gory as hell, batshit crazy. Check it out.
Gotta bring Troma into this with Redneck Zombies. Great 80s zombie film. Very gory. Real
Classic.
big fat backwoods guys. It's great.
That's the one where they drink the moonshine.
Yeah, it's
This
poison
about
moonshine. It gets something in the moonshine. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
water.
So we had one that's about don't drink the wine, and there's one about
Don't drink the moonshine.
cool. Very, very underrated film that fell through the cracks on Full Moon Pictures.
Oh yeah.
The great The Dead Hate the Living. I absolutely love this film. It's a throwback to Fulci, The Beyond. The lead character Eban, of course, is a homage to Fulci in The Beyond, and he looks just like Rob Zombie. It's crazy. Love this movie.
Of course, the infamous "Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things." Orville
You'll see more of that in this podcast.
and those damn pants. Can't get past those pants, man.
Absolutely. Great Angus Scrim
Talked
and
about this one. Rest in
This
peace.
great French restaurant
Perlman.
down the street.
the awesome I Saw the Dead. Excellent film. Great
Bela
Angus.
Lugosi even makes one in White Zombie. Creepiest damn movie.
The first ever zombie
Oh,
movie ever made. That's where it
man.
started.
Creepy,
there.
creepy atmosphere in this. It's so
That's-
good though.
That's where zombie movies started, man. Right there.
White Zombie,
Absolutely.
1932, I believe.
Yep, 32. And Bela Lugosi, actually, the director of that film actually walked out on the set, and Bela Lugosi himself actually directed part of the movie, which is really fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Zombie Honeymoon,
good one.
great movie. Shit.
Cemetery Man,
Very broke movie.
of course, always the classic. Great movie.
Cemetery Man is great. Love it. Prometheus, Lord of the Living Dead, an crazy batshit fucking gory ass movie. One of those movies where you just want to sit with friends and cheers some beers and just watch the red stuff fly, man. Amazing
That
film.
works.
The soccer scene is fucking hilarious.
Of course, from the Blind Dead collection, Tombs of the Blind Dead, the more famous one. Of course, you got Night of the Seagulls, greatest title ever.
That a movie about tours.
Or the Manitowoc Marina. Yeah. But yeah, Tombs of the Blind Dead, great collection. Definitely should have that in yours, if you don't already.
Definitely Return of the Evil Dead and The Ghost Galleon as well.
Oh yeah.
Just all of those films are great. From Fangoria films, I Zombie. This movie's kind of a hit or miss with people. I personally like it because it shows like the deterioration and the depression of this guy. You know, his fucking penis falls off in his fucking hand when he's jerking off. I mean, that would suck, man. You know what I mean?
I'm not even gonna say anything about that. If you don't know about this film, you shouldn't be watching us. Hail Fulci.
What do you guys say to that?
Exactly.
He agrees. Plague of Zombie, Mutant Zone, and original Plague of Zombie. They'll come in one set. It's a really cool set. Amazingly brutal. Well, funny, campy, gory insanity.
Yeah.
Just a really, really fun film. Fangoria International.
Peter Jackson, Dead Alive. So what are you going to say about half these films, man? That's the gore fest right there. Party's over.
What? No pudding? Custard.
It's great.
Damn fine custard. Okay, I'm done. So turn into Jaws pretty soon.
Not yet.
Nope. Versus the Dead. Awesome movie. Check it out. One of my actual favorite midnight releases. I'm not really a fan of midnight releases.
Yeah, they're hit or miss.
This one actually is pretty good.
28 Days Later, of course, from the 28 Days, 28 Weeks. That series is a running zombie film, but it's creepy. It's got some good kills in it. Good storyline, I thought. So
Absolutely.
a little mainstream, but it's still good. I love it.
That movie, yeah, dude. The fast zombies, the rage virus.
They did it right.
Yeah, it was a very good movie.
Good series. I mean, it kind of got lame near that 20 weeks and 28 years, decades, whatever.
This one goes out to my buddy Jordan. Hey, Creepy, if you're watching, this one's for you. Exit Humanity, amazing film with Bill Moseley. A Western, just wartime zombie movie. It's amazing. I love it. Atmosphere's awesome.
Daryl Hannah's in this one.
That movie was awesome.
Zombie
I actually
Night.
did not mind that movie at all.
There you go. It's a good
I don't
one.
know what the hell I was going to get when I saw that.
It looks kind of
It was
like
gonna
it
be
would
like a
CG
shit fest.
Yeah.
But
It's
I actually
not.
watched it and I actually enjoyed it.
It's a
really
good
did.
one.
Another one I enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
Sick Boy. Awesome movie about this babysitter babysitting this kid who is a zombie. Bob never tells her. Gotta find out the hard way, I guess.
Nemesis. Night of the Living Dead. Very good, underrated film. Sid Haig's in this one. It's definitely a classic.
If you're a fan of
Gotta
the
love
original Night of the Living Dead, that has like a twist on the whole thing.
Yeah, you like it.
It's pretty cool. One of my personal favorites, Dead Girl. Don't wake her up.
She's dead.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your balls if you wake her up, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Excellent movie.
Another Romero, of course. Day of the Dead. Wouldn't be complete on this little collection. Bub.
Can you not say about the pub, man?
Yeah, it's Jackass.
And we have Cadaver Christmas, a good Christmas classic with zombies. Awesomely made film. Actually, it's really entertaining to watch the making of this, what they went through, how many years it took them to make this. Really paid off.
Wish I could have watched that, except for this jackass stole it from the video store for me.
I hear bullshit coming out of someone's mouth.
House by the Cemetery. Fulci. This was kind of tough to say if we can categorize this as a zombie film. It's kind of yes, and
Freud
it's kind of
some
no.
zombie elements.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss, but definitely
Absolutely.
gotta throw it on there just to be safe, so we don't get that. You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We don't need that.
My last one I got, Hell of the Living Dead. Awesome film, even though they ripped off the entire Goblin soundtrack from Dawn of the Dead. It's still a good movie, good moments. No, not that. No, they didn't rip that part off. Good movie. But there you go, guys. Hope you. Oh,
I'm
shit.
not done, you
Sorry.
son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Can we talk about The Dead Next Door? Because that, my friend, is one hell of a film. I know some people don't like this one. Well, you can fuck off because I love this movie.
I love the fact that the directors are all all the characters are named after directors. You got Savini.
Zombie Holocaust. Of course, another classic. Shriek Show. Let's not forget The Beyond. Of course, if we forgot that one, we would be shot. The Undead. Another apocalyptic
Aussie.
nightmare.
Aussie good Aussie zombie.
Cave of the Living Dead, another Euroshock collection. Another black and white, real kind of weird. The Dead Want Women. Actually, surprisingly kind of funny. It's almost like the Three Stooges in a zombie film. We're going to do Beyond Reanimator, which of course goes with Reanimator.
Classic.
And then of course goes with Bride of Reanimator.
Classic.
Let's see. Army of the Damned. I'm gonna give you those. You can talk about
Yeah,
those.
I'm leave left out, man.
There you go. Another Dawn of the Living Dead. Looks really cool. Actually, not that great of a film. Pretty terrible, but you know what? Looks cool. Go.
Corpses Are Forever. Horrible movie. Sorry, I hated it. Just to be honest, I hated that movie. The only cool thing about it is the cover.
Yep.
Cockney
versus zombies.
Cockney. I said that right. Cockneys versus zombies. Awesome movie. A lot of good things about it.
And of course, we saved the best for last. Why? Because Romero
The creme de la creme
is the ultimate in zombie films. Night of the Living Dead. Barbara, they're coming to get you.
Damn right.
You can never have a zombie film that we have today without Mr. George A. fucking Romero. Thank you so much. That, my friends, is a shit ton of movies about zombies. They all just fell over. That's awesome. But stay tuned, guys. We're going to wrap this up when we come back. Cheers. We're going to put that on a wrap for zombies. You know, maybe next week will be werewolves or vampires. We don't know. That'll come at a later date.
You never know, guys. You gotta stay tuned and see what we'll come up with.
Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Hope you guys got some good titles to check out. Hope we, helped you out. I'm Ghoul.
I'm Skid Gore, and we'll see you next time, man. Let her rip on Descent into Whore Hell! Check it out, bro.